Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the WZ-120-1G FT. It's the Tier 8 Chinese premium tank destroyer. It's located on the north spawn of Fisherman's Bay, and this one is under the command of marke12. Now this gun is a 122mm gun capable of 440 alpha penetrating 248mm with standard ammo, with the heat ammo that gets up to 310mm, and with the HE it will do 530 hit points of damage if it penetrates 61mm. So any Scorpion G, you better watch out that he doesn't get around into your gun shield, because he'll do probably more damage than you would in return. This is built from the Type 59, or rather it would have been if they'd actually built one. It's a fake tank, I'm afraid. Wargaming have made it up to populate the Chinese line with tank destroyers. In fact, they did that to all of the tank destroyers on the Chinese line. Seeing as it's actually designed on the Hype 59, yeah, it's true, it is a hype tank. It doesn't really have all the qualities that it's made out to be.
Moving to support your position.
Seeing as it's made out from the Hype 59, it does have reasonably good speed, 50 kilometers an hour. It's got a very powerful gun. It reloads fairly quickly. He's got 7.66 reload. 9.4 is the book reload, so you can see he's knocked a couple of seconds off that. And that's without even using premium consumables. He's actually using standard ammo. Well, misses the super chappy with the first shot. The thing about this tank destroyer is the gun handling isn't that great. It's not as good as some other tanks. But it does have that very, it's reasonably an accurate gun. As I said, it reloads fairly quickly. And one of the other features that's really great is the sloped armour on the front of the vehicle, which is so strongly sloped that a lot of rounds just bounce off it. In fact, in many ways, it's similar to the SU-122-44, or its bigger brother, the tank that came in afterwards, the SU-122-54, based from the Type T4KEN tank. Okay, he's found an enemy. It's a LTG. He should have actually... Oh, missed the opportunity there. He should have aimed in that direction for the AMX-1357, because it was the 1357 who was first going to spot the enemy as he came up to that position. And it was very likely that that LTG was going to poke his nose around the corner. And in fact, actually, he did more than that. He actually drove up to the windmill. AMX-1357's pulled back just for the moment. And he's been joined by the Super Chappy. Now, I think the Super Chappy might be trying to go for the bush. Oh, lovely shot there. High roll, 471. Yeah, I think the Super Chappy was intending to go for the bush. There's a little bush there you can spot behind. And if he's in that position, he might be able to spot many of the enemy tanks as they're hiding behind the windmill and further back next to the bunker. Okay, just waiting for one of those guys to poke his nose around. I think he's decided he needs to relocate. You can see marke12's got one mark of excellence on the barrel, and when he moved position, he actually missed the chance to get the SU-101, who's now proceeding towards our AMX-1357, but he can get a shot into the LTG if he can get it lined up. Oh, it ricocheted off. It was the wrong angle. And now he's missing the opportunity to hit that LTG because he changed position. He must be cursing himself right now for doing that. But this Super Chappy, well, he's come straight towards us. Can he get a shot? Yes, and a kill shot at that. That was the one he hit earlier. Our AMX-1357's taken a lot of damage. He's pulling back. Okay, the Challenger takes a round for 412, which is the low roll. But he's still coming on, which means he's going to take another round. And in fact, it's the last round. He's out the game. Okay, that SU-101's still there, though. Our P-43 Biz has moved in. They're engaging each other. No, be worried about the P-43 Biz at this point, because the SU-101, unless you get behind it, it can be a real problem to try and take it out. Well, it's not a problem if you can shoot into his side, and that's what marke12 does. So he's got his third kill. I think actually the P-43 Biz lined him up because he pulled back, so he kept his front to the P43, and in doing so he actually gave an easy shot to Marky, and he looks like he's also being hit by an enemy tank or tank destroyer who might be in the tree line at the back.
Acknowledged.
Now he's trying to say that I'm going to support the P43. The enemy are down by 2 tanks now. Now this exposes one of the problems with the WZ-120 is it's not very good on ridgelines. It's only got 6 degrees of gun depression, so ridgelines are a bit of a problem. It's also got a bit of a problem with gun elevation as well. The gun will only elevate 15 degrees, and so sometimes with enemy targets above you, you might not be able to get a shot. Especially when you reverse up a slope like that. Okay, he's knocked the tree down to give himself some cover, but in fact he's decided to move up to this bush here and try and help them from here.
Moving to support you.
Okay, he's still supporting them, but somebody's taking fire. The Tiger 131, I think, is taking fire from an enemy tank destroyer who happens to be much further ahead to the right of the windmill, and he keeps saying he's trying to support them, but they can't see the tank that's actually hitting them because they're behind the trees. The SU-152 took rounds, the P-43 took rounds, and the Tigers took rounds. If the P-43 stays there, he will get shot. You need to be very careful on that corner because it's so easy if you're up on the far back in, say, in K1 to shoot a tank that's sitting on that corner. And that's where he's looking in that direction now. They're behind the bushes. Well, he's trying to blind fire the bush there. It might be that the enemy tank's either behind the bunker, which is just to the left. No, I think that may have actually hit something because he didn't kick up the ground there. There was no explosion on the ground. Yes, there was something there. It's a VK3601H. He's just been spotted. And he is missing some hit points, so I think Marky must have blind fired him. But he's pulled back behind the building. That was probably the tank that was hitting our other tanks. And he had an 88mm gun, so he's probably doing, what, 300 hit points, 320 per shot, or around 240 at the very least. Unless you've got a laser accurate gun, it's not very good trying to shoot through that gap. It's very difficult to shoot through that gap. No, I think he's wondering if he should actually go over to the east side of the battlefield because there's a KV-4 over there. In fact, the enemy's got 3 heavy tanks. We've got the VK on this side, the KV-4 over on the other side of the battlefield, and the other enemy heavy is VK30-1P. We don't know where he is at the moment. We're still 2 tanks up on the enemy though. Now the one good thing this tank destroyer does have is a very excellent traverse. Like the Height 59, or Type 59, it does traverse very quickly. It's a very mobile tank. And it has a reasonably good gun arc as well. Oh, they got the Super Hellcat.
Thanks.
It's got a reasonably good arc because it's got 10 degrees either side of the centre. And because the vehicle traverses very quickly, if you get an enemy behind you or somebody who tries to outflank you and get behind you, you can quickly turn the tables on them because this thing traverses very, very quickly. Well, there is a tank up there, a T28. There's the VK. He popped out just for a second, and again the bad gun handling lets him down. It doesn't dial in very quickly. It's a problem when it comes to that. The gun handling isn't as great as all that. As I said, it is a fairly accurate gun, but it's not as accurate as you can actually fire it through a gun slit at 300 meters plus. It's got a good gun range, view range though as well. It's 380 meters view range, so it is a very good long range sniper. As I say, reasonably quick. So if the enemy does suddenly appear in a different place, you can quickly move over there to take advantage at 50 kilometers an hour maximum speed. Okay, he's trying to creep up on that VK. There's also that T28 HTC somewhere back there as well. Oh, we just lost our P43 Biz, and he was taken out of the game by the T28. So that guy who's up there, somewhere up there, just saw the P43 and took him out. There he is. Okay, go for it. He'll easily go through the armor. No trouble at all. Got a high roll from that one. 446. The T28 probably didn't see him. His sixth sense didn't go off. But I think you should try a blind shot on him. Now he's engaged his handbrake. He's stopping there for the moment. I'd use the a blind shot. I don't think he would have moved very far. Another problem actually is the ammo capacity. It's not that great. No, only 35 rounds of ammunition. So you have to be careful what you use the rounds on. But sometimes it's worth actually trying a blind shot just in case you think that the enemy's still there. He's got loads of ammo at the moment though, 19 rounds, so he hasn't even got through half of his ammo yet. He's asking for help from the T34 and the Progetto. Or at least the T3485M. He's coming this way, but that might make him a target for the T28 HTC. You might distract him though. The T34's gone down to the cap area. He's not here. But he's down there. There he is. And oh, we just lost the RT3485. But there's the T28. He was still there. He was still there. He didn't get a kill shot, but he near as damn it killed him. 49 hit points, but he was seen. And that means now the T28 will be looking in this direction. He's got a 105mm gun. And he fired into the track. In fact, it was the VK fired into the track. The T28 might try the same. Okay, gonna change position. No, I reckon he's still there. So line it up with the minimap, see exactly where it is. Or no, he's decided he's just going to push ahead. Use the ablative shield, the frontal armor, the sloped armor. Go for it. You don't even need to pick a weak spot. Just fire. Oh, why did you change ammunition? The 122mm round will just go straight through his tracks. Unfortunately, I think he made a bit of a boo-boo there. I've got one of these, and I know full well they'll just carve straight through the armour. And then as he goes up there, he's exposing his belly to the enemy, and that's why he got penned. But he takes out the T28 HTC, and now he's going after the VK, who is now vulnerable, because if he goes out round the other side, the SU-152... Oh no, the SU-152 was wiped out. So he's now chasing this VK. It's chasey, chasey, kissy, kissy, bangy, bangy. And there goes the VK. That means there's only two enemies left now. The CS-53 and the KD4. They're in the town.
I need help.
And that's the 2-minute warning. I thought the SU-152 was still there, but he must have been taken out by the VK. We can see where the KD4 is. The Progetto just saw him, and he's asking for help from the others for the SU-100M1 and the Progetto to try and corner the KD4 and the CS. He's trying to go around the cap because he doesn't want to give them advance warning that he's on the way. What's he doing? He's asking them, what are you doing? And they're saying cap.
Requesting support.
Okay, well, if they're going to cap, they need to all come into the cap at the same time. Here comes the CS-53. The Progetto just got wiped out by the CS-53. That shot missed. He's not having good luck with this gun. I say that the standard AP is much better than the heat actually in this gun. I much prefer the standard ammo. I know it says 310 penetration, but I've had so many of those heat rounds fail. It's much better actually using standard because it's got such a high penetration level anyway. Okay, when the enemy gets close, we'll deal some damage. He's already up at 2,500 hit points of damage. KV4's coming forward first. There's the CS-53. He's been spotted. Okay, he's going to try and aim shots. Yes, gets it. There he goes. Right now, all he needs to do is get another round into the KV-4. Go for the top of the turret. He gets a pen and a high roll. 474. He doesn't need to stay in the cap anymore, but the base has been captured. And that's it. The game's over when there's only one tank left. Well, that was a thrilling end to a tough contest. And it went down to the wire, and yes, he did get the cap out. He could have actually left the cap area to go after the KV-4, and I'm pretty sure he would have taken that guy down, but sadly the KV-4 survived the battle. But it was good teamwork, because they all did come together, apart from the Progetto, who got himself killed by the CS-53. It was a first-class tanker for marke12 in the WZ-120-1G FT. He managed to get a bruise, the medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 6. A duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. He got a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, 20% of the enemy hit pool, and he got a top gun with that last kill, the CS-53. That was his 6th kill and earned him the medal. Let's have a look at the team score. There you go, top of the table, 3,673 hit points. The next high scorer was the KV-4 with 3,088. And the third highest damage was the VK3601H. He chased around that bunker, 2,530 to him. When it came to kills, he had the highest number of those with 6. 3 kills went to the KV-4, 2 kills to the Hummel, the Progetto, and the CS-53 and the VK3601H. And when it came to base XP, he was the only one to get over 1,000, 1,282, 815 to the Progetto, 745 to the KV-5. He fired 23 rounds in that game, so he still had a number of rounds left over, 12 rounds in total. 14 direct hits, 12 penetrations, damage of 3,673 hit points, of which 1,633 were at more than 300 meters. This is a very good long-range sniper, but it's also pretty devastating when you get close to the enemy, because the sloped armor does kind of deflect the shots. 5 hits received from the enemy, only 2 of those penetrated, and one of those penetrations happened because he came up the bank and exposed his belly to the the T28 HTC, which allowed him to get one of those 105mm rounds into him. 3 non-penetrations, some of those hit the tracks. 760 hit points of damage blocked by armor, 7 enemy vehicles damaged, 6 killed, and 828 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 60 defense points when he was sitting in the cap. If he'd actually left the cap, it would have reset the cap at the point and given him enough time to take out that KV-4. He earned 71,649 credits for the game, 53,737 from personal reserves, a total of 161,211 credits altogether, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, took away a profit of 121,928 credits profit. 1,282 XP, 192 for this being a premium vehicle, took away 2,115 experience points altogether. It's a very good tank, the WZ-120, in terms of the fact that that sloped armor defeats a lot of guns, and the 122mm round going back in the other direction does a good decent amount of damage, 440. You can soon tote up the damage, and you will get above 2,000 hit points in a battle if you can get enough shots into the enemy during that time. And I found that as a tank, it's actually quite a good combination of a long-range sniper and assault tank. And in the assault mode, when you're going towards the enemy and they see that sloped armor, they aim for the sloped armor, and usually the rounds just careen off and they miss, and then you get a round into them and they soon feel it. It's as I say, it generates a lot of credits. He got a lot of credits out of this one. Admittedly, yes, he did get a lot of kills and he did do a lot of damage, but I can say that with hand on heart that the WZ-120 is one of those tank destroyers which I enjoy playing, because it is able to do a decent amount of damage even from just a few shots and generate a profit as a result. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that replay. Very good one by Marky to get the high caliber and top gun. Pity that he couldn't get that last kill. I think it would have been nice if he had, but there you go. Can't always have it. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm.
Just do it!
And thank you for watching.